Did you know that each state has an agency to help home buyers? Hey, I'm Rusty Mortgage here to talk to you about state housing agencies. Now, housing authorities got their start in the late 1930s due to the creation of the U.S. Housing Authority. But since then, each state's programs have evolved a little differently. While state housing agencies have provided a variety of services, I'm mainly going to talk about home buying assistance because, well, I'm a mortgage lender. Basically, they meet three buyers' needs. First, homebuyer education counseling, specifically a housing and urban development approved homebuyer counseling. Now that's far more rigorous than a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac online homebuyer class. Second, they usually provide some type of subsidized interest rate through a bond program. Now in some states this rate is lower than the market rate available to other buyers. In other states it's not. And third, down payment assistance. Now this used to be like forgivable free money, but in fact it's kind of just watered down over time due to sustainability into what is really just a down payment assistance loan. Now that's not true in every state, and every program works a little differently, and in some cases they only target first-time home buyers, somebody who hasn't owned a house in the past 3 years. But in other cases, they focus on targeted areas, so you may not be required to be a first-time home buyer, or they have a version of their program that anybody can use. I generally would say, however, they all have income limits. Now, there are certain nuances because some programs use household income and others use qualifying income, which is just different terminology in our industry and how income is used for qualifying purposes on a mortgage. But is a state housing agency what you need to buy your first house? Well, as always, it depends on where you live and how much you make. But if you have questions, drop them in the comments below and maybe we can chat. Have a great day.